The Black History Experience. Unerased. History they couldn't silence. Shirley Ann Jackson is the definition of brilliance, resilience, and impact. As the first African-American woman to earn a PhD from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, she didn't just break barriers, she redefined what was possible. Her groundbreaking work in theoretical physics helped pave the way for innovations behind telecommunications, caller ID, and fiber optic technology, tools we rely on every single day. But her legacy goes even deeper. As a leader, educator, and trailblazer, she has opened doors for generations to walk through with confidence and purpose. This is more than history. This is a legacy that cannot be erased.
Welcome to the Uncommon Sense Podcast. This is J. Howard Green, one of your hosts, along with my partner. I call him the professor. That would be the one, the only big brother, more better, Michael B. Wright. Michael B., what is going on, Professor?
What's going on there? The Velvet Voice of Macon, Georgia. They call him the Velvet Voice.
Hey, man, we just want to welcome the people to the Uncommon Sense Podcast, where we're exploring the edges of reasoning so that they may get the truth and the truth shall make them free. Because it's going to be unfiltered, uncensored, and unapologetic. Yes, sir. That's what we do. That's what we do. What's up, right?
Yes, man. Everything is cracking now, my brother. How about your side?
Everything is everything, my brother.
That's
and
what
now you know we streaming on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Deezer, iHeartRadio, and also Amazon Music. We're everywhere, Doc.
Oh, look at it, man. We done grown it up. Look at it.
We done grown it up.
We done grown it up.
And we had to start this show off with the Black History Experience. And with the Black History Experience that they could not erase if they even tried to. We had the girl Shirley Ann Jackson on.
Gotta tell it, man.
Shirley Ann Jackson, bad girl. When you think about telecommunications and call waiting,
yes, sir.
That's Shirley Ann Jackson, right?
That's it right there. Dr. Jackson, man. Yeah, man. Keep them coming, bro. Let them know what the history is, bro. They need to know. They need
to know, Doc. They need to know.
Yes, sir.
And then, right, you know, these folks keep messing with our intelligence.
They try.
They try to mess with our intelligence. Especially with what the Supreme Court came down with. Now,
this surprises you?
Oh, no, it doesn't surprise me.
All right.
But you're going to tell me I can vote?
Yeah.
But then you're going to say, well, your vote might not count, but you can vote.
That part.
So we want to kind of educate the people from the woke newsroom and give them some clarity about this decision that this here Supreme Court gave. This is crazy.
Talk about it.
Baby, they didn't take your vote. That would have been too obvious. Instead, they just carved up your community like a Thanksgiving turkey. So your vote disappears into 3 different districts where you'll never win. And President Trump is calling it equality. Okay, so let me explain what just happened today because clearly your timeline isn't talking about it enough. So you know how your neighborhood might be majority Black or Latino? Like genuinely, your block, your neighborhood, your church, your school, all your people are right there. Well, the Voting Rights Act of 1965 said that if your community was that concentrated, you deserve a district where your vote picks your representative. Someone who looks like you, someone who lives like you, and somebody who will fight for you in Congress. That was our protection. They just took it. Here's how it works now, okay? And it's called cracking. And it's exactly what it sounds like. They take your community that is 60-70% Black or brown neighborhood and they crack it. Split it between 3 different districts. Now, instead of being the majority in one place, okay, where you could actually win, you're a minority in 3 places where you will always lose. Your candidate never wins, your issues never get addressed, and your community actually gets ignored. But hey, you still get the vote though. They just made sure that it didn't count. And if you try to fight them in court, good luck. Now you have to prove that a politician literally said out loud that they hate black and brown voters. Like a confession, a smoking gun. Because drawing the lines that way on purpose is not enough anymore. And Louisiana was the test case. Black voters there just lost their second congressional district. We're talking potentially 19 seats. Nationally, that could be flipped just by redrawing lines. This is not about one state. This is the blueprint. They tested it in Louisiana. They won. And now everybody has permission to do the same thing. Message.
Message. Right there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it we done got that now, man. Yeah. So I'm surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm kind of concerned in a way, because you can see the hypocrisy of this, man. Because you're talking about gerrymandering, you're talking about what they've done. I mean, Texas and Florida just did the same thing as far as the redrawing the maps, and they know what they did. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but now here you go. That the Supreme Court just gutted your voting rights. But again, man, they've been doing this since the beginning of time, since they quote unquote gave us the right to vote.
Right.
They've been trying to snatch it back the moment they did it. But you have two problems now, Jay, that you're battling. Now, not only you're battling the redistricting and as far as redrawing the lines, also you got to look at, man, having a candidate vote for. I hate to put it that way, but at this point, who cares about the districts if you don't have a qualified and a bona fide candidate that you can actually put in office? And so this is the challenge here that I don't think that we're having a conversation around. Yeah, that we're going through the redrawing the lines, of course, and we know that's going to be a part of the narrative because they try to change the rules because they know they're losing the game. So you adjust the rules so you can win. Okay, cool. But then the other dynamic is, okay, now since we know that's what they're going to do, then you got to start putting up some qualified candidates. You got to start putting some people on the docket and also in the game that can win these elections. And again, that can flip these seats. So you got to come at it two-tier.
Right.
You got to address the redrawing the lines, but you also got to address the pool of who we're pulling from. And so that's what I want us to start having a conversation around, okay, we can fight the lines all you want. But at the end of the day, man, do we have somebody in those chairs that's going to be beneficial to the folks to put them there? So that's the whole question that we got, man. You got to have it two tiers on this thing, man.
Right. You got to have two tier in this thing because of the situation to where you have to put qualified candidates in the seats to where they can actually expound, they can actually operate in that seat and operate in that seat intelligently,
right?
Versus to, okay, I'm just gonna put somebody there just because this ain't gonna work.
That part. And an example of that, and I'm not, again, I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm not trying to trash anybody. I'm not saying, I'm just making a point. We recognize that Congressman David Scott passed away last week, and this has celebration of life. Okay, so now they said the special election coming out. Okay, now his daughter's saying she's running for the special election.
Who is she?
His daughter.
What has she done though in the field of politics that anybody has even heard of?
Being his daughter.
Okay.
So,
but that's not enough.
But I'm saying that's. I'm just making an example. I'm not saying one thing one way or the other. I'm just saying.
I understand.
His daughter's running.
Yes.
And just like the questions you just asked, those are the questions that need to be asked. Okay, who is she? What has she done? How has she been prepped for this? Look at what we've been going through now, and can she handle herself on those dynamics? So it's all that stuff. And again, it's not trying to drag anybody. It's just asking some bona fide questions.
Right.
We respect the fact, and your boy Jesse Jackson. I guess I'll call for boys. Your man Jesse Jackson, you can try to try the same thing.
He tried to ride on the tailcoat of his dad.
Yeah, but when he was in there,
right.
So I'm just trying to be as non-combative as I possibly can. But I'm just saying, bruh, we keep going around this Red Robin, the same thing. We keep going around the same doggone circle. And at some point, we got to be grown enough to have grown folk conversation, and do like the old school did. Call your butt out and be like, look here,
Yes.
this
Yeah.
is what it is and this is what it ain't. So deal with it.
Yeah.
That's what we are now. And again, being passive in this, we're not in that space anymore. We can't have folks in there just because namesake. And that's
Right.
you're beyond that, man.
That's gone now.
Yeah, you're beyond that, honestly.
Yeah.
Because again, with you're talking about now, probably the next, if this world is still here, you're talking about the next 5-7 years, you're going to have Supreme Court justices up for retirement if they don't die off it,
Right.
So you're looking at a whole slate of stuff, man, getting ready to change. And if you don't have folks in there that know what they're doing and can position things to happen, it's going to be the status quo, and it's going to get worse. Your boy Brennan Jones running for Secretary of State.
Okay.
And I mean, and he was saying that, you watch his infomercial commercial. He talking about he stood with Trump and he stood with MAGA when it mattered, and he's saying that he stood for Stop the Steal. Okay, I'm just saying. So
what is that doing for us right now?
that part,
Right.
So it's these questions, man. Again, and I'm not saying because he's of the same kind of hue as us that he's going to have the same kind of concern as us. I'm not saying that. I am saying if someone wanting your vote, but then they are honestly coming out and saying the rhetoric that they're saying, and not giving any kind of true answers and agendas as far as what you're going to do to address these issues. You're just using the same kind of firebrand lines to get yourself elected. That's okay. That's old, man. I mean, we're done with that mess, man.
Right. Because you even see with the decision that was made in Louisiana, even some things changed about that.
Yeah.
Because now you have a situation where they now have taken poverty and made it a felony. How do you make poverty a felony? Because you found out a way to profit off of poverty.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
If we want to say hello to Brother June out there, she said hello to the show, to Uncommon Sense.
Hey, Mama.
Right there,
Cobb County in the house.
Cobb County in the house. But man, we're going back to the woke news studio because people got to hear about this poverty situation here because this is some mess.
Wake them up, Jay. Wake them up.
800,000 human beings being paid between nothing and 52 cents an hour, generating billions of dollars every single year in the United States of America. And Louisiana just decided it wanted more. $29 million. That's what Louisiana already extracts from modern day slavery every single year. There are 13,000 unhoused people in the state right now, and a new law just made poverty a felony. The plantation is ready, and it's called Angola, named after the African country European settlers trafficked enslaved people from. The only thing missing was the bodies. What's happening in Louisiana isn't isolated, it's coordinated. While they criminalize Black poverty in the streets, they're simultaneously stripping Black people of the only weapon they had to fight back at the ballot box. On Wednesday, the Supreme Court voted 6-3 to gut Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, the last remaining major protection against racially discriminatory redistricting. Within 1 hour of that ruling, Florida redrew its congressional maps to eliminate majority Black districts. Other Republican states are already moving to do the same. At the same time, Louisiana passed a law criminalizing homelessness. A first offense carries a $500 fine and 6 months in prison. A second offense? Well, that's a felony. 1 to 2 years in prison with hard labor. If you can't pay for your court-mandated treatment, the bill requires you to perform unpaid labor for the government to pay off the debt. They call it the Streets to Success Act. The president of the Louisiana NAACP said it plainly. You're turning homeless people into criminals. We're going to put them in jail because they didn't have the means to make it? Now, understand where those people are going. Angola is the largest maximum security prison in the United States of America. 80% of its 6,300 inmates are black. Angola's mostly black inmates are still forced to pick cotton in the same fields as before slavery was abolished. The guards who oversee them are called freemen. It's always been slavery by another name, and they just voted to make sure you can't vote your way out of it. America didn't become the most powerful nation on earth despite slavery. It became powerful because of it. And the people who inherited that power have never stopped searching for a way to return to it. And they want to make America great again, just not for you. And if you didn't know, now you know.
That's how you replace the immigrants that they shipping out.
Right there.
You take them off the street. You take people who are poverty stricken. You take them off the street and you put them to work in these prisons. That's how they gonna do it. Or that's how they planning to do it.
Well, that's how they gonna do it, man.
Yeah.
That's how they gonna do it.
Yeah.
And you're so true, man. And again, this is where we are. And this is why I'm saying the conversation we got to have. You got to be honest about the conditions that we're in. The pontification got to be over with, and you got to have some real time solutions. Because when you have two entities, the for-profit industry, as far as incarceration, making money off this stuff, man.
Yeah.
What is their motivation, man, to change the situation other than to make more profit?
Exactly.
And so you're here. Mm-hmm. And the kind of money these cats are making every single year off again, incarceration, you're going to throw somebody in jail who already ain't got the money to pay it. Right. So you're going to put them on probation. You know they ain't going to be able to pay that. So you're going to throw them in jail for violation of probation. And so then now they're going to go and become a felon. So you already know where it's going to go. You already know where it's going to go. And so you're going to have a cesspool in about 5 months if somebody don't do something quick, man. This is how bad it's gotten.
Right. Because you're going from Louisiana, mm-hmm. Then of course you're going to California.
That part.
And then you're going all over to the major cities and you're doing the same thing over and over again. You're talking about a system, mm-hmm. A prison system.
Yeah, it's there.
And you all, racism in this country is still king.
Always.
Don't think that racism is not king in this country. I'm telling you, mm-hmm. That's what it is.
Always.
Now going back to the beautiful beam footage, mm-hmm. Here's a brother, when he heard about the decision, I mean, you can just feel the pain of it. You can just feel that pain, like, really, now you, again, playing with people's lives. How many times are you going to play with people's lives like these? And especially with our lives. Mm-hmm. So like you said, it comes to show that somebody's got to do something. Somebody. And we got to stop pontificating, as you say.
We're in there. Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
I'm trying to keep myself calm here, Nicole.
Why?
Because I'm really upset.
That's okay.
You get tired of people playing fast and loose with your dead. Mm-hmm. And it was triggered by Obama. You know how many dead people are in the bottom of rivers in Mississippi because they tried to vote? Mm-hmm. How many dead folk, right? Folk who have wounds because of this. And here we are in this moment in the country's history, and we have to deal with this again. You see what I mean? So you think about the glorious revolution, our glorious revolution that produced the Constitution. The courts restrained it, limited. Dred Scott doesn't extend to us. You think about the Civil War, left 600,000 plus dead. Get the Reconstruction Amendments. We finally look like we're going to try to become a democracy. What do we get? The courts. Slaughterhouse cases. Reduces it. Rolls it back. And now here we are. We've only been a democracy since 1965. Barely then. 15 years later, Reagan is elected, Mobile decision happens, right? Roberts begins his career right there. And so here we are. It's exhausting. And so, yes, we have to get together. Yes, we have to mobilize. Yes, we have to organize. But these people play fast and loose with our dead. They play fast and loose with our sacrifices. They think they own freedom. They can give it to us and take it away whenever they want. And they think we're just supposed to sit here and take this, right? So first of all, I'm just going to express my rage at this decision. And then the second thing we need to do, of course, is to get about the hard work of trying to salvage this democracy as we've done since the moment we've been on these shores.
Where does the first part of it end and the second part begin?
The first part of it ends when we admit, honestly, that racism still occupies the throne of this country. There's nothing about our current days that lead us to believe, that should lead us to believe that we are in a post-racial world. There's nothing about our days. And then once we admit that, admit of our sins, then perhaps we open up a future for us to be otherwise. But the noble lie isn't noble at all. Racism still occupies the throne of this country. And that's clear to me.
The man said the noble lie is still not noble at all.
No. And again, this is where a real conversation got to be had. And then we're beyond that part of trying to sugarcoat things and gloss over things and, make things politically correct. You're beyond that now. So I think we're at a critical cross point, in history, man, because you got two things fighting you now. You have you and I are part of generation, man, of the last critical thinkers, the last listeners. Our generation is that part. The generation behind us, man, has been literally prepped for this. They've been cloned for this. They've been engineered for this, as far as being passive, as far as not being engaged, as far as believing stuff that you hear just because you heard it from somewhere you call a credible source. So they're manufactured, as the writer said, they manufacture consent, and not only that, but they constructed ignorance. Mm-hmm. They've made it that this is the way of the day.
Right.
And so the only reason and the only way that these individuals can do what they do and be able to maintain this facade of what you call America is because you created a generation and a population and citizenry, man, that cannot push against it because you don't know how. And that's the most, I think, detrimental side of this, because we can holler all we want, but if you don't have the bodies that can construct a different future, then what do you have? And so that's what I'm saying as far as this younger generation is concerned. When you're talking about your 20s through your 40s, that's where it is. And if you don't do something with that generation from your 20s to your 40s, if you don't do something with that generation, like right now, you're in a very, very precarious situation. And I don't think from a larger standpoint, the community is making that a threat. We're all in survival mode. But, again, with the issues that we're facing, man, and, Doc, he alluded to it. And you can feel the pain in it because, again, my mom, that's his generation. Right. Those who went through that, born in 1944, it's that generation, man, that paved the way for what we have. If you didn't have that generation, you wouldn't have had a Clarence Thomas. That's the whole sad part about it. You have someone such as a Clarence Thomas who benefited from, your Federal Hamers, that benefited from, mega efforts, who benefited from these individuals that did these things. And now you side with the very ones that they fought to actually, get you there. I think I think that's, for me, is the most detrimental and heartbreaking thing, is when you have a benefactor sitting on a chair and follow somebody like a Thurgood Marshall. I think that's the ultimate slap in the face and disgrace, to be sitting in a chair that was occupied by someone of that kind of caliber, and you do this. But that just shows you again who this individual is. So he is who he is. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be.
That's right.
So you leave it there. But again, there are Clarence Thomases behind him. Who would ever thought, man, Ben Carson would have, degenerate into what he did. I mean, who would ever thought that? When you're looking at individuals such as a Ben Carson, will put yourself in a situation where you allow yourself to be this, or even a Tim Scott. You
Right.
know, these individuals again who were in our view someone who you ascribe to be. You know, a lot of people were inspired by Ben Carson's story and his line, but then for you to get up there and do what you did, it rips your heart out.
Exactly.
Because then it discourages the younger generation from ever trying to make a mark, because again, those who you looked up to becomes the one you want to you want to hurt. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
hey, Big
Yeah.
Bro, really, we're
Yeah.
doing this now. But that's I think again is the caveat of all these conversations that need to be had is what are you going to do as far as replacements are concerned. And I don't think, man, that we're doing it, because to tackle this beast, you need folks who know how not to just construct a speech, but know
Right.
how to construct legislation, who know how, again, to orchestrate these things and get your butt in a position of power. That's what you got to have. You know, again, God bless David Scott. God bless his heart. But you were in office until you died at 80. And I'm just concerned, man. You didn't respect that and say, look at this cat here, put them in there, you know, or this cat,
Right.
I'm preparing you to get in there. I'm gonna give you everything I've learned over these last 40, 50 years in office, you know, and I'm gonna pour it in your head, and I want you to take it to the next place. You know, that's what you need.
Right. Exactly.
You got to have that kind of history in a younger body, so you'll know what you're up against and you'll know what to do. And to throw somebody up in there again, man, who has no clue on how to navigate these waters that have grossly changed as far as the semantics. The beast is still the same. That's like a HA. The beast has stayed the same, but the methodology, man.
The methodology, Doc.
That part didn't change, man. And if you don't know how to deal with that, you're not ready for this, man.
But right, you know, your boy King said this. Dr. King.
Yes, sir.
He said the house is burning.
Yeah. Frat did say that.
Yeah, he did. He did. Your frat did say that. Hey, bro, I get credit where it's due. He said that. Now. He said that one. He said that one.
Yeah,
but then 20 years, in 2006, 20 years ago, Farrakhan said the same thing. Mm-hmm. When they were talking, he said he was talking to Dr. King. Him and some other people were talking together. Mm-hmm. And Dr. King said, I'm afraid that I led my people and turn it into a burning house, and the house is burning. Mm-hmm. And today, the same house is still burning today. God. So I'm going to go back 20 years now to Minister Farrakhan.
Oh.
He was at the State of the Black Union.
That part.
With Tavis.
Tavis Miley.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And when he went there, he went there, man. And when he went there, he made a whole lot of sense, because, see, they was trying to make a covenant with the same government that had promised them so much, but they never kept their promise.
Always.
So let's run that beautiful bean footage right now.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
You said, Tavis, what is that word about promise?
Barbara Jordan, what the American people want is simple. They want an America as good as its promise.
Well, America is no good at all. If you have made a promise that you don't keep, what are you? You are a liar. Did they promise the Native Americans? Did they write it in treaties? Did they fulfill it? Did they promise us 40 acres and a mule? Did they fulfill it? Brown versus the Board of Education. 50 years later, Where's the promise? Is it fulfilled, or are we still in segregated schools? The right to vote, you got it? But the minute they gave it to you, they were finding ways to take it back from you. Can't you open your eyes and see the house is burning? We are dying every day, and we're in a hell of a condition because we've made a covenant with a government that is death itself, with a people that have lied to us, deceived us, and murdered us, and rubs us good on one side and kicks us in the behind on the other. You are a deceived people. If you don't have the testicular fortitude to say what needs to be said, then sit down and stop trying to say you speak for our people and the hurt of the poor.
Yes, sir.
That's the minister.
That's the minister, Doc. And he ain't never lied, though.
No, he ain't.
Not in right there. He did not lie.
Hey, man, truth is truth. I don't care who's speaking.
Doc.
Man, that's right there. But again, I mean, Farrakhan has always been there. And they trashed him because, I mean, again, he doesn't hold his tongue. But, bruh, he brought it.
That man said they gave you the right to vote, but then they tried to find ways of taking it away from you.
Exactly. Jim Crow, the voting laws, I mean, the jelly bean test, I mean, pick one.
Pick one.
You know, they did it. They still do it. And they're going to keep doing it because, again, I have to make the statement. Voting is fine. Voting has its place. You know, if you haven't voted, you need to vote because it's early voting right now. Right. But you have to ask yourself the question, what the hell am I voting for? Exactly. And so, again, if we're not forceful enough to ask these questions and hold people to the fire, you know, and it's not going to happen, man, until you get a groundswell. I mean, because, again, it's the middle class that sets the tone for where you're going. Right. I don't care what nobody say. It's the middle class that rides this horse. And the moment we get tired of riding it, you know, and put that boy in the barn, that's what we're going to do. But as long as you're buying into the narrative of TikTok, Instagram, you know, as long as you're buying into that, as long as you're buying into, you know, the television, YouTube, whatever, you know, Netflix, as long as that's your flavor, then you're cool. But you're at I'm telling you, you're at an impasse. When I drove by this morning, man, I really was in my jazz music. I wasn't paying attention, but when I drove by BP, and I was like, I know that ain't $4.14. $4.14, bro. I was like, that got to be for Supreme. That got to be for Super, boy. Super Supreme. Super, because your boy had to turn back around. I'm like, is that regular? Regular. $4? Okay. Now think about it, bro. You $4 a gallon of gas, and you got to think about people, man, who are not even making minimum wage. Right. Exactly. Look at what happened. Look what happened to Spirit. 17,000 workers gone overnight. Gone. They showed a story about this one woman. She had 8 children that worked at Spirit, and now she has no job at all. At all. At all. See, this is the thing, right? We talk about racism, but that thing is across the board. It is. It's across the board. It don't even matter. It don't matter what color you are. No. It don't matter what your ethnicity is. It don't matter. No, sir. It's going to hit you. Because your country is economics. Yes. Always has been, always will be. And if I got to be careful what I say. It almost slipped out. Again, economics is the beast that is riding this train here, and that's dictating what's going on. And like you're saying, brother, it doesn't discriminate. Oh. But your boy Eisenhower, your LB Johnson, he the one that got the party started. Yeah. When he said, if you want to really do this the right way, make the poorest white person Make them feel like they are better than the black, you
Yeah.
know, and they will support you from here to high heaven. And that's the craziest thing, man. You got individuals who are poorer than us as far as dynamics are concerned. Honestly,
Yeah.
when you look at white America and you pull back the little nice little blanket they got out there, and you see some stuff, yeah. When you're looking at who's really on welfare, who's really receiving SNAP benefits, all those, man, is majority white. You know, that's the truth of the matter.
Right.
But the problem is you've made them feel as if we are the villain.
Right.
You know, because you got to have a boogeyman in the story. So make the brown, make the black, make them the boogeyman. But it goes back to economics. And if the bottom line is, if you can't afford to take care of your family without a certain thing, then that should tell you right there something is wrong living in the richest nation upon the planet. Okay, fine. But if that's the case, then you tell me why you have these pockets of deserts where you don't have food, you don't have this, da. And that again doesn't care what color you are.
Right.
But
Exactly.
you made it that way. You made folks look at it through the lens of black and white when it's not black and white. It's green.
Exactly. That's what it is.
It's green, bro. And until
And
we
folk got to wake up, man. They got to wake up, man.
got to.
This ain't about color.
No, it's about one color,
One.
green.
Green color. That's it.
That's it. And if you don't have it, you're not going to make it in this thing you call America. You're not going to make it.
No, it's not.
No.
Because then on the flip side, you see what's going on in Social Circle, Georgia.
Yeah.
Now the people in Social Circle, Georgia, quote unquote, they voted for Trump and his administration and all. But guess what? When they try to call them to get some help from them, it's like crickets.
Yeah.
You can't hear from them because, like you said, that facility is about money. It's about green.
It's about green, man.
And since we trying to make all the green we trying to make, then we have nothing for you if you're not talking the same language we're talking.
They showed you at the inauguration. They showed you that.
Bro, let me run this beautiful bean footage and show the people. Show the people what we're talking about, because we're not just talking.
It's sad, but it's true.
It's sad.
We don't have the wastewater capacity for anything close to this size.
Now, residents here can't even get a response, let alone a visit, from the very same Republicans this town helped elect.
You know, we're in Georgia and we can't get our attorney general to fight for us. So now we are trying to figure out how we're going to fight with a little money, fight the big federal government, when we should have had our government fight for us.
What about Governor Kemp? How can he help us and how can we reach him?
I can tell you that there hasn't been a lack of effort to get in touch with Kemp, but there's been very, very little response.
And every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future.
Social Circle overwhelmingly supported President Trump by large margins in 2016, 2020, and 2024. And immigration has not been an abstract issue. After the 2024 murder of Laken Riley took place in this district at the hands of an undocumented migrant. But some hope two things can coexist: stronger immigration policies without decisions that strain their resources. About an hour east of Atlanta, residents are filing into this community center in the small, conservative town of Social Circle, Georgia.
We're going to get started here in just a few minutes.
Gearing up like David to take on the Goliath that is the federal government.
Hello, folks. My name is John Miller. I'm a citizen here at Social Circle. Really appreciate you guys taking the time to come out tonight.
These aren't longtime activists. Most of them are concerned voters, teachers, nurses, farmers, small business owners, people like John Miller. For months now, he's been organizing these meetings as his town of about 5,000 grapples with something very few people here saw coming. The immigration policies, many of them backed, are showing up right here at home.
What we're here all to talk about today is the warehouse at the corner of East Hightower Trail and Social Circle Parkway. That is the proposed detention center.
Back in December, Social Circle officials found out that the Department of Homeland Security had quietly purchased a massive warehouse in their tiny town. The plan? Turn it into a detention center for up to 10,000 people, effectively tripling the town's population overnight and placing new strain on resources that were already stretched thin.
So, you got a population of about 5,000 people. They go down, the government goes down and buys this warehouse. The value of it is $29 million. But in order to secure the building, the government pays $129 million for it. So they paid 3 times the price for the building so that they could secure the building. Now you got the residents trying to fight against the government on something, quote unquote, they voted, they supported the administration, but they didn't vote for this.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did. You just didn't look at the what's that? The fine words, the fine
print.
the fine print.
Well,
and the man told you he was gonna do that.
You know, this is the thing, and again, this is when you bring old school to this, man.
Yeah.
Old school asks you the question.
Yeah.
If you know someone lies, yet you listen to them, who's the fool?
Ooh.
I mean, that's old school now. Again, and the question is, and I know the Bible says you shouldn't call nobody a fool. I got it, but this is the statement they put it in.
The statement. Yeah.
This how they say it.
Yeah.
If someone you know lies, yet you listen to them,
who's the fool?
Who's the fool? You know, that's and I mean that right there. Nothing truthful has ever come out of Trump's mouth. Nothing. I mean, I don't care what you put him on. Nothing that man has come out of his mouth is truthful about nothing. You know this man lies from the front to the back.
Right. Exactly.
Yet you listen to him.
Yet.
So my thing is, yes, you voted for this because you know this man lies. So you know whatever he said he's going to do the exact opposite. You know he's going to do this. So I have no sympathy. I have no dog in that fight because you voted for this.
But this is the thing. He keeps lying to you, saying that the gas prices are going down. Where? Tells you that the food prices are going down. Where? But you still run with the same lie he's lying to you about. There are some people that they will believe the lie and repeat the lie.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now here it is, the same lie to these people here that voted for him. But instead of voting for someone of a different party or even of a different color, you will still vote for the one that lied to you, thinking that something's going to get better somewhere.
Where your allegiance is not to... Okay. Everything we do in some context has a spiritual nature to it. If you're of that persuasion, you know, you have atheists who don't believe in that, so that's your walk. But everything you do is of a spiritual nature,
right?
So, and understanding that, and to piggyback on what you're saying, a person's allegiance, once they find out what that is not to a party. It's not to, your ethnicity. It's not to that. Your allegiance is to an actual spirit that you now are a part of. That's what that is.
Yes.
And a lot of folks, again, you don't want to put in that context because that's too harsh. No, that's the truth.
That's the truth. Your
allegiance is to the spirit by which you are of, because that's all you can do.
Right.
And so again, if you are of that spirit of a lie and deception, if that's your nature,
Right. Right.
the boss man said it best. Now again, this man is above my pay grade.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when
Both our pay grades
I'm trying to tell you,
put
boy.
together.
When he told the Pharisees, he said, "You are of your father, which is the devil."
Yeah.
You know, when he said that, man, and he's told him he lies from the beginning. There's no this man lies from the beginning, and you are
And
of
he said he is the father
the
of lies.
father lies, and he
Meaning that
said
he's the source of lies.
he's the source of it. And he said you are of. He said you were of the same nature.
The same nature.
The same nature, and
The
that man,
same spirit, the same nature.
that part got to cut you, man. If you really understand what he's telling you.
Yes, sir.
He said you couldn't tell the truth if you wanted to.
Want to.
It's not in you, player. And so that's what you're dealing with, man. Because and again, if you pull on this thing called spiritual warfare, which people start throwing out now so frequently, you
Yeah.
got to understand what you're saying. You're
Yeah.
fighting. You're up against a spirit, and if you don't really know how to combat that, and you come in with this nice little kumbaya moment, player, that's not what this is.
Yeah.
That's
No.
not what this is.
This is
And
not what this is, brother.
so when you're looking at these individuals, yeah, they will vote that way because they are of that spirit. That's what that is. So I don't care what you do. I don't care what you say. I don't care what kind of campaign you run. I don't care how nice you are. I don't care how much help you do for
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes,
It
sir.
doesn't matter because
Doesn't matter.
that's not the spirit that they are of. It doesn't matter.
Okay, Professor.
It doesn't matter.
You
Yes.
just taught this, right? So that's rather beautiful beam footage on it to show real time. Right here on Uncommon Sense.
Helping lead the fight is Newton County Commissioner and real estate broker Leanne Long.
DHS paid almost $130 million for an empty building that had not been able to sell. What's going on there?
They paid almost 3 times the amount for that building. So as a taxpayer, first of all, that's my first thing is, good Lord, you're wasting our tax dollars.
In 2025, Newton County assessed the property's value at $29 million before construction was completed. This year, officials increased that estimate to $65 million. But DHS paid $128 million, a price tag that didn't even cover the cost of renovations to retrofit it for human habitation. When we asked why, DHS ignored us.
Have you ever seen a deal like that in this area?
Never. The owner of that building, he cashed out, boy, big time.
A longtime Republican organizer, now she says she can't even get a call back about what's happening in town.
All of a sudden, we're calling and nobody cares. Nobody's answering. Nobody knows. They say they don't know. We're just wondering, how do they not know?
So do you have some buyer's remorse right now?
I do. I've helped a lot of these candidates in their races, and I can tell you, I won't be helping them now. I won't be helping them. They don't have our back. They're not calling us.
What would you say to them?
I would say that, Mike Collins, if you want our vote ever again, you need to help us and come down here and do something. You need to go to President Trump. You do all these videos with him like you're besties. So why don't you go with him and tell him, help us.
Hello, 10th District.
On May 19th, Georgia will have its 2026 primary. If he prevails, Mike Collins will head to the midterms taking on Democratic Senator John Ossoff, a top priority for the GOP, ever since Ossoff and Raphael Warnock flipped Georgia's Senate seats in 2021.
Okay. That's one instance right there. But even when Warnock went down to help them, right? The same real estate lady said, I appreciate what Warnock is doing. And I really do love what he's doing. But I would never vote for him.
That part.
Bingo. Now, how is it that someone comes and help you and assist you and try to bring some kind of clarity to the situation and you would never support them?
Good.
Because you have not of that spirit.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And again, when you understand that backdrop of stuff, and that's why you should never take nothing personal. That's why you should never get all up in arms.
Right.
You know what something is. You know what someone is coming from. And I think that's what the issue is. People don't want to call it that, but that's what it is.
Right.
And until you understand that dynamic and embrace it, you're going to keep on trying to win people over with your, kindness and this and this and this. That's not what this party is, Blake. And this is what, again, go back to old school wisdom. They would tell you, man, sometimes you need to let folks feel. You need to let folks feel the weight of their own ignorance. And that's what you got to understand, man, is when somebody can feel the weight of their decisions or feel the weight of the situation that they got themselves in, if they can feel that, then it might be a change.
Right. Then.
Probably. On a good day. But if not, then you know where you are. But again, the reason why people can't feel it is because you keep having folks coming in and being the savior.
Yep.
You have people coming in and making things right, but then they will not do the same for you even if you pay them.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, I think it's up the standpoint of, if you know this block of folks will never vote for you, I don't care what you do. Let them deal with my colleagues.
Yeah.
Who ain't calling them. Let them deal, But again, your tax part, and people say they tax, that's all our tax money.
All of our tax money.
You dropping $129 million on a building, and dude, that's all our money wrapped up in that, player. And that's all the stuff doing. I mean, alligator, Alcatraz.
All of our money.
When you think about this stuff, man, but again, when you give an idiot a blank check, don't be surprised when you go bankrupt, bro. It's just what it is.
And that's what you did when you took him off.
And you did. So yeah. But again, you got to start letting these folks feel the weight of their.
You got to.
Because I'm telling you, man, if you take the prodigal son's story for what it is, and stop trying to sugarcoat it and make it into this, no. If the father was represented by, the father represented God, and the son represented a child of God, okay, the father never went or tried to stop the boy from leaving. Never did. He never went looking for him.
He never tried to reason with him.
None of that.
None of that.
And when that young man went over there and started doing whatever he did, found himself in the hole pen, the father still never came looking for him. So what does that mean? God will let you feel the weight of your decision.
The weight of your decision.
That's the only way you're going to come to yourself to some point. And if you don't, then you don't. But at the end of the day, that's how you get there.
Right.
Is you got to feel the weight of what you decided you wanted.
Right. Right.
So yeah. And I'm telling you, it's a crazy prayer I've been praying. Yeah, let whatever it is, it has to be.
Yes, sir. Whatever it is has to be. Right.
And I'm saying, Lord, just give me the wisdom and the grace and the power
to navigate through these things.
Duck and dodge and weave, and know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give me a heads up. We're gonna come down and let a brother, get ready for it.
But even your boy David said it clear. He says, wherever I am, you there.
Yeah.
Even if I make my bed in hell,
he there.
You there.
Yeah.
You there. But that don't mean he gonna come in and save me because I'm in this hell.
No,
he gonna let me go through that hell because I chose to be in that hell.
That was your choice.
That was your choice.
But again, you keep hollering Jesus your Savior. Okay.
Okay.
Right? I'm telling you, man, you better be very careful.
Very careful.
So that terminology, I don't think you studied the right book.
No, you didn't study the right book right there,
Now,
Pop.
you got the wrong kind of deciphering going up there.
No. That's a different type of salvation right there. See,
Bruh, God will let you smoke.
yes, yes.
He will let you smolder all day long. He won't.
Until you come to your senses.
That's what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you want. It's painful.
Right.
It's painful. But this is growing folks up.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to. If you really want to get this thing, you call whatever life, whatever. Even if you take God out of it, fine. If that's you want to move that narrative and just make it life, fine.
Right.
Life still shows you
right
that at some point you're gonna have to feel the weight of your decision, whatever that is. Exactly. And no one should have to come in and circumvent that and make the landing softer and make it more palatable for you. No, that's not what this is. You need to feel the weight of your decision.
Right.
Because then that's the only way you mature. That's the only way you grow up. That's the only way you get to a place of standing on your own 2 feet. And if you never get there, that's your bag. That's
your bag.
And so that's the whole point now that we're in, man. And with things the way they're going, again, I go back to $4.14. I just stopped right there. Imagine these people, man, who got prescription medication they're trying to buy.
Exactly, bro.
Look at your food prices.
Food, yeah.
I mean, just everyday living. This is not even including mortgage and light, gas. That's not even bringing that in. This is just the bare necessities. The bare necessities.
The bare necessities, and then you bringing in these data centers that's going to add more to the power, to the water, to.
But CJ, again,
Mm-hmm.
because of your intoxication and your dependency,
yes, sir,
on technology,
yes, sir,
that's why your data centers exist.
Mm-hmm.
If you did not have a sensational appetite for that, your data centers would not exist.
Would not exist at all.
So you are the one that's feeding that beast.
Mm.
Can you imagine, folks, if folks would just turn their phone off and say, "Look, we're not going to deal with cell phones.
No, we're going to throw them away.
Just not going to use them.
We're going to use them no more." You would lose their mind,
bro. Can you imagine the chaos that would ensue if that happened?
Just think about it, right? We grew up in that era, Doc. We had no cell phones,
bruh.
We barely had the people when they came out. Come on,
try, bro. We had the landline with the rotary dial, bro.
Exactly. Exactly.
When my daughter, when they got in high school, I know we got time, but since you brought it up, when they got in middle school and whatnot, they had to actually have a cell phone because that's how the teachers actually sent out the homework and stuff. They sent home that they had to have a communication device. That's what they did. Bro, I'm not making this up because what does a child need with a cell phone? For what?
I was the same way.
Who they call it?
Yeah.
The only person they call is me, and I'm right there. So I mean, that's my. But they made it so that they had to have this technology device.
Right.
You had to have. Okay, so this is how you get this thing started. Right. And again, if you're not careful, if you don't understand what's going on, you can become so intoxicated with this stuff that you don't even know you're drunk, but you're drunk. Because like we just said, man, if you can't put your phone down for a week and don't ever touch it,
yep,
you lose your mind.
Yep.
Folks will know what to do.
They will know what to do.
Don't pick up your phone for a week. Just don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it. And so I'm saying, man, the only reason why you got these data centers is because the insatiable appetite that we got for technology. That's the only reason why you got these data centers.
Wow.
You are producing this.
We are producing it.
Wow. If you wasn't consumer, then if you was not consuming this,
yes,
if there was no consumption of that, If there was no consumption of this, then it would not exist.
Wouldn't exist. There wouldn't be a need for it.
Because as the book says, where there is no wood, the fire will go out.
Yes.
The book told you that.
The book told you that, brother. My.
You keep throwing fire. You keep throwing wood on the fire, boy. Some of y'all throwing
It's a
gasoline up
bird,
there, boy.
bird.
Some of y'all throwing gasoline balls. I mean, like, all right.
Why folks spending $2,000 on a cell phone? But anyway,
What?
$2,000 on a cell phone. Okay.
Can you imagine James Green Howard the first? You go on him and say, "There, I did $2,000 phone." Okay,
Bruh.
Okay.
Bruh.
I see you in the
Can
afterlife.
you imagine James Wright Senior?
That's why I never had a cell phone.
Oh, no.
Boy, please. No.
Man, what?
I didn't get a beat until I was in college. That's how bad this freaking mess is. And when I got one, I
got my own.
Man, I thought I was a big man on campus, man, walking around with me, but ain't nobody beeping you, boy.
Ain't nobody beeping you. You nobody know your number.
Nobody know my number. You gotta beep yourself, man. Like, dude, really? What are you doing? But man, you thought you were big money grip.
Uncommon sense, Doc.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Doc.
It is what it is, player.
Unfiltered, uncensored, and unapologetic.
That part.
Every Tuesday at 7 o'clock p.m. on SinceYouAsked.com and also thetruevision.net. Yeah. And also you can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Deezer, iHeartRadio, and also Amazon Music. Until next week, peace.